All right. So we are reading through the book of Proverbs for the month of January. Um, we are starting with Proverbs verse 1. We are going to go with the English Standard Version because, like, that's what we did the book of Luke in. English Standard Version is it is an approved version. It was made by a council, so not just one guy. I would definitely recommend staying away from a Bible version that was created by one man. That seems a little strange, and I would definitely recommend some discretion there. ESV was done by a council. NASB was done by a council. I believe NIV was also done by a council. So anybody that's actually had a council that's come and convened on how to write or translate the Bible is well and good. So there's a lot of different talk and a lot of different debate about what Bible translation you should use. I'd say stay away from.
I pretend to be nice to people.
Right? I pretend sometimes. To push me a little bit far, push me too far, and you will see the clause. Soda's weird for meats. The acid in them is almost like a pre-cooked marinade sometimes. I've heard that, and it definitely works with the roast. It tenderizes it a lot. Chad has now heard 4 trains this month. Another train is coming, that long black train. When is a matter of much debate, yet even Peter spoke of the last days. Repent, believe the gospel. The gospel is this: it means good news. Bad news that we've all fallen short of the glory of God, yet Christ was a redemption for our sins. He paid the price to redeem mankind from his slavery to a sinful nature. Let's turn from that long black train and turn to the perfect Lamb of God. Hey, you thought that was a walk-on at first? We do have, if you have 25,000 channel points, you can actually get your own walk-on, so that when you say something in chat, or first come into chat, your walk-in will play. I know EG Wife had one, Colors of the Wind. We've got Luso has one from Chrono Trigger. Sonic's got one from Sonic Colors. So there's a little bit of everything, and that sometimes I'm not paying attention to chat. So that gives you the ability to like, hey, I'm here. Turn around. Pay attention to me. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand the words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Now, Anise, I have enough for a walk-on. I don't know what I'd want, though. I think Sonic's like, hey, we're reading the Bible. But no, it's, if you ever get the chance, or if you ever think is like, this would be cool, let me know, and I will do my best to actually get it set up. Judah's climbing me. He wants to play. That's what it is. He wants to play. Okay. So to know wisdom and instruction, to understand the words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Joker, okay, brother, gotta head to bed, unfortunately. Try to watch this on YouTube later once you have it up. Much love. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for coming in, Joker. I appreciate it. Get yourself some rest. Thank you for being here. Exclamation point sleep. Yeah, let the Final Fantasy lullaby lull you off to La La Land. Hope you have a wonderful night. God bless, and I'll talk to you next time. Probably tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll be live tomorrow night. I think I'm probably going to take Friday off. I gotta help my mother-in-law move. Fun. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching. For they a graceful garland for your head, and pendants for your neck. My son, if a sinner entices you, do not consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without reason. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive, and whole like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with wonder. Throw in your lot among us, and we will all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their paths, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. For in vain a net is spread in the sight of any bird, but those men lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives. Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors. Wisdom cries aloud in the street. In the market she raises her voice. At the head of the noisy street she cries out. At the entrance of the city gate she speaks. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will the scoffers delight in their scoffing? Fools hate knowledge. If you turn at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. I will make my words known to you, because I have called you and you refuse to listen. I have stretched out my hand and no one has heeded, because you have ignored all my counsel and would have none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when terror strikes you. When the terror strikes you like a storm and your calamity comes like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come upon you. Then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but they will not find. For they hated knowledge. They did not choose to fear the Lord. Would have none of my counsel, despised all of my reproof. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their way and have their fill of their own devices. For the simple are killed by their turning away, and the complacency of fools destroys them. But whoever listens to me will dwell secure and will be at ease without the dread of disaster. Proverbs chapter 2. My son, if you receive my words and treasure up my commandments with you, make your ear attentive to wisdom, inclining your heart to understanding. Yeah, Judah listening to the Bible. I'm just falling asleep listening to the Bible. My son, if you receive my words and treasure up my commandments with you, making your ear attentive to wisdom and inclining your heart to understanding. Yes, if you call out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it as hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. Yes, each chapter is probably going to be a separate recording. I might do 1 and 2 together. Just because we did miss it. Because today is the first and I didn't drop it today. So I might put 1 and 2 together. If you seek it like silver and search for it as hidden treasure, then you will understand that the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk in integrity, guarding the paths of justice and watching over the way of his saints. Then you will understand righteousness and justice and equity and every good part. For wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Real Mr. Duck, welcome in. For wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will watch over you. Understanding will guard you, delivering you from the way of evil, from men of perverted speech, who forsake the paths of uprightness and walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice in doing evil and delight in the perverseness of evil, men whose paths are crooked and who are devious in their ways. So you will be devoured, or you will be delivered from, the forbidden woman, from the adulteress with her smooth words, who forsakes the companion of her youth. And forgets the covenant of her God. For her house sinks down to death, and her paths to the departed. None who go to her come back, nor do they regain the paths of life. This speaks directly to Son, and I'm going to try to keep the little expositories and things out. But one of the things we were talking about was the whole idea of fornication and sexual immorality. This speaks volumes. An adulteress with smooth words, who forsakes the companion of her youth, forsakes the covenant of her God, her house sinks down to death, and her paths to the departed. Men in general are talking about finding a girlfriend, finding a mate, and all of this other stuff. Be careful rushing in. That's all I got to say. Be very careful rushing in. A guy doesn't need a woman to make him happy. And if the guy thinks that he needs a woman to make him happy, then he's really just kind of sealing his own destruction. I am blessed the fact that me and my wife are going to be celebrating 10 years of marriage this year. But get to know that gal. Get to know that gal very well. And I'll go as far as say don't jump into the sack either, because that ends up creating bonds. It's just going to make everything difficult if things end up going badly. So that's what I'm going to say. Verse 20. So you will walk in the way of good and keep the paths of righteousness. The upright will inhabit the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the treacherous will be rooted out of it. Ferric, may I? Knees, yay, a whole decade, Donnie and Mama Dreams. Thank you, Knees. It'll be February 3rd of next month. So I'm not for sure exactly what the plans are. My wife said something about going to Buc-ee's. So that could be cool. I mean, it's up to you guys. I really don't want to, but if you guys want to contribute to an anniversary fund, let me know. We could put a poll in Discord. Should I post an anniversary fund contribution? Ferric, yes. To answer yes, highlight my message. My grandmother always cooked tasty food. Well, one day she put a burnt pie in front of my grandpa. Not just a little burnt, but black as coal. I waited to see what my grandpa would say, but he just ate the pie and asked how my day was. Then I had my grandmother apologize to him for his dinner, and I'll never forget his response. Dear, I like your pie. Later, I asked him if he had told the truth, and he put his arm around my shoulder and says, your grandma had a tough day at work. She was tired. The burnt pie didn't harm me, but a sharp word could have hurt her. We all make mistakes. We shouldn't focus on mistakes, but support those we love. You're 100% right. I saw something on Facebook, and maybe it was a Twitter, Or maybe it was TikTok. I don't know. I can't remember. It all kind of blurs together after a while. But dude was like, it had one dude that said, yeah, fellas, if you had worked a 12-hour day and you came home and your wife served you hamburger helper, what would your response be? And the dude came in with um, a cut. I'd eat it. I'd eat the heck out of that hamburger helper. I would too. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not super fond of hamburger helper, but if my wife has worked all day and that's what she decides to fix, I'm going to be grateful for that hamburger helper. I'm going to be grateful for the fact that my wife actually took the time to think about me. Knees, brah, hamburger helper slaps when you do it right. I will take no slander or libel about it. Oh yeah, hamburger helper. I can make some mean hamburger helper. Um, I like my cheeseburger mac. I normally end up adding my own cheese to it, like extra cheese, and sometimes you like throw some bacon in it. But I mean, even if it's bad hamburger helper, I would eat it. I would eat it, and I would be completely grateful because I have a woman that's actually thinking about me. Um, Jeremiah, I'm looking it up, and it looks really good. These, extra cheese. Yeah, it's like donuts. Yeah, is cheese like you get your double cheeseburger macaroni, add in some actual sharp cheddar, uh, and throw some bacon bits in there. Becomes bacon cheeseburger macaroni. Oh yeah. Yeah, all right. We'll go 3 here. Because these are kind of short. And this is probably one of my favorite. Proverbs 3. And I would say honestly, we should we should shout out Phoenix and clip this and shout out Phoenix. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 1. I'm going to be releasing probably one chapter Proverbs a day on YouTube. This will probably come out on the 3rd because I'm going to do the first and Proverbs chapter 1, Proverbs chapter 2 tomorrow or today, I guess, on the 2nd. So we'll have a couple things on YouTube, and I need to get worked on the anime. Varric is a cat lying like that means he really trusts you. He does. He doesn't like it if I play with his belly. Like if I go to give him belly rubs. Oh no, he's not gonna try to attack me. He's like, stop it. He's kind of keep kicking my hand away. But yeah, yeah, I think it may be the fact that I was the one that saved him. I don't know. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. My son, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. For a length of days and years of life and peace they will add to you. Let not steadfast love and faithfulness forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. So you will find favor and good success in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge him. He will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. Now, I know that there's a lot of talk, a lot of debate, a lot of discussion about what is true Christianity. Whether it is Eastern Orthodox, whether it is the doctrine of baptism saves, whether it is, and Jeremiah is going to get mad at me because I'm going to bring it up again, whether it is Calvinism, whether it is Arminianism, whether it is whatever theological position that you want to insert. This verse right here is what speaks volumes about all of that. In the end, I don't know what's the truth. I am not going to take a statement and say, this is my only, like, this is the only way. And he's just like, he's like a little baby. Judah is so cute. It makes me want to get a cat, even though I'm allergic. He really is. We lucked out on this cat so much. Oh yeah, I'm not going to use the. I was in the middle of exposition or exhortation. Yeah, that's the word, I think. Exhortation. Anyway, as I said, there's a bunch of different debate: Calvinism, Arminianism, baptism saves. Insert whatever theological position you want. This verse is what kind of cuts through all of that for me. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes, but fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. And yes, Sonic's eschatology is another. Whether you're premillennial, postmillennial, historically, postmillennial, amillennial, insert whatever eschatological belief that you want it to have. I am not going to say that my interpretation is the only interpretation, because there can be various other interpretations. Is it possible, maybe, that Jesus will decide that he's going to save somebody who is not Trinitarian? Possibly. I don't know. I don't know. But I am going to state that right here, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7 says, be not wise in your own eyes. And I think that when we take this position, that we start arguing and debating and fighting over all of these theological stances, that is being wise in our own eyes, and that is what ends up causing dissension and causing division. Farrick says, according to Paul Harvey and the rest of the story, Jim Davis loved cats, but was very allergic to them. So he created the comic we love called Garfield. Really? That's actually interesting. I didn't know that. I thought that Garfield was actually based on a cat that he had. Speaking of Jim Davis, I have been kind of vocal about the fact I am in Muncie, Indiana, which is Jim Davis's hometown. I don't know where he lives, but yeah, shout out to Jim Davis from a fellow Muncerian. Yeah, anyway. Verse 9. Honor the Lord with your wealth, the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, or be wary of his reproof. For the Lord reproves him whom he loves, as a father and the son in whom he delights. Yeah, the more you know, the more you know. Verse 13. Blessed is the one who finds wisdom, and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is her right hand, in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is the tree of life to those who lay hold of her. Those who hold her fast are called blessed. The Lord, by wisdom, founded the earth. By understanding, he established the heavens. By his knowledge, the deeps broke open and the clouds dropped down the dew. My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, and they will be life for your soul and adornment for your neck. Then you will walk on your way secretly, then you will walk on your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden terror or the ruin of the wicked when it comes. For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to do it. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give it when you have it with you. Do not plan evil against your neighbor, who dwells trustingly beside you. Do not contend with a man for no reason, when he has done you no harm. Do not envy a man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. For the devious person is an abomination to the Lord, but the upright are his confidence. The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the dwelling of the righteous. Toward the scorners he is scornful, but to the humble he gives favor. The wise will inherit honor, but fools get disgrace. I'm going to stop and we'll go over that one more time, and I think I'm going to end it, and we're probably going to raid out because I'm tired. It's been an awesome stream, and honestly, I'd love to just get into some games, but I'm kind of curious how everything's going to end up going with the YouTube video, and especially the reaction content. This is completely new. It may go somewhere. It may not. I don't know. Whatever happens, I give it all to the glory of God, because I know it's not me. But here, Proverbs 3:34. Toward the scorners he is scornful, but to the humble he gives favor. There's one thing that is a common reoccurrence in the book of Proverbs. Honestly, is a common reoccurrence through that in the entire Bible. Humility, 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 humility. We can take a look at Jesus Christ, the man who was literally God. Penguin says, going to retry his Logos Bible software. They got a big issue with it going to be closed source. Been wondering what you in the chat thought. Very anti-closed source, and I've been looking for Bible software. I don't know much about Logos. I know that Jeremiah uses it, and he likes it. I know that myself, I can find pretty much anything I need to through a combination of Bible Gateway and Blue Letter Bible. And I know that both of those are free. They do have like a plus plan. Okay. Like here. So this is Bible Gateway. They do have a plus plan. But I can find just about anything I need through Bible Gateway or Blue Letter Bible. Bible Gateway for basic reading, and I use Blue Letter Bible for like in-depth if I want to go into the actual. So if I go to Proverbs 3, Um, right here, Proverbs 3:34. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but give grace to them unto the lowly. I can go here to interlinear, and I can see where it says unto the lowly in the King James. It's Strong's H6035, and that says that it is anav.
Strong's H 6035. Anav.
So
Anav.
anav.
Second entry. Anav. Anav.
And it is translated as meek 13 times, humble 5 times, poor 5 times, lowly twice, and very meek once. Also closed source. Wait, so Blue Letter Bible and Bible Gateway is closed source? Is that what you're saying? Mainly use NIV Bible and KJV Comic Bible. Okay. The thing is, I don't necessarily know if there is anything open source. When it comes to the whole closed source versus open source, I can understand why a person would do something where it's closed sourced, because I know that writing code and building something is very, very, very difficult. So to say that I'm going to keep it closed source and, I would like to make a little bit of money off of this product that I have built basically from the ground up, I understand where that is coming from. I also don't have any problem with open source. If somebody wants to open it for everybody to check out, then I can agree with that one. And the issue with being open source is it could be possible for somebody to put malicious things in it too. Sword Project was one I used for Linux, but the Windows version is bad. Jeremiah, much of Logos' value is in that it gives you copyrighted material. Sometimes that is a benefit. But that's where I go. I know that both of these tools are free for me to use. If you do want physical, you can get a Strong's Concordance. You probably go to any used bookstore and find one. But in the idea that Logos gives you a bunch of books is probably pretty cool too. It's a little bit more expensive than my budget would allow, but copyright laws need to be redone. I think that copyright laws are good in the way that they protect those who originally wrote it. I think that there are some times that copyright is beaten over the bush. Yeah, and we should take a little bit more of a fair stance in what is fair use. Especially when it comes to music and stuff like that. Can we just go back to attribution? Like, if I'm giving you an attribution and I'm not necessarily trying to take away from your content in any way, shape, or form, I'm just trying to build on it, I think that maybe, yeah. all things are good. Like the copyright laws exist for a reason. The problem is when people try to take advantage of it, like for instance Disney, who decides that they're going to reinvent the videos every few years, or like every 15, 20 years or so. They're going to make another thing so they can hold on to that copyright. And the bad part is half of their copyright, it wasn't even their stuff. Like Little Mermaid, that was Hans Christian Andersen. That wasn't Disney. But yet Disney holds the copyright on Little Mermaid. Same with Snow White. That wasn't, that wasn't necessarily Disney. They reinvented it and then they hold the copyright on. So there are some things that people can use various laws to their own gain, and that is true in just any state. I could say that people do that with the Bible most of the time too. The Penguin been doing research and it been nuts. I cannot need worry about if I cite it, then it gets published, it will get struck down. For the most part, I believe that if you cite something as a source, then as long as you have a credited source behind it, you should be fine. When it comes to Bible verses, if you're just citing Bible verses, then really, as long as you put the quotation there and state it, you're fine. Normally, if you're citing from the KJV, nobody really says anything. Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, most of the early Disney... Right, exactly. They were not Disney creations. But they're remembered as Disney creations because nobody actually does their research. Mr. Duck says, how are you all doing? I'm doing pretty good. I am getting ready to end this here. So I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. Yeah, if on the YouTubes, if you made it this far, if you've been blessed by the content, definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Until then, this is Donnie Dream saying God bless, over and out. And that is for the YouTubes.